Mercury is right now in 9 degrees of Cancer, and it sextiles Uranus in Taurus, it squares Chiron in Aries, and it trines Mars in Pisces. So there's a lot going on, right? So let's unpack all of that. Now, Mercury in Cancer wants us to share with loved ones, connect with what's familiar. We're more sensitive to our surroundings, and we might take things a little bit more personally. So the trine to Mars that Mercury is making makes it easier to connect on a compassionate level and go with the flow. We're able to take care of things close to our heart, especially in connection with family, real estate, self-care, home, food, our upbringing, and so on. Now, as best as you can, take care of yourself and just as best as you can, relax. All good things come to those who truly know how to take care of themselves. If you really know how to do self-care really, really well, you're going to be okay. Now ask yourself, if I honored my feelings 5% more and practiced 5% more self-care, might this create more inner peace for myself? And the reason why I always mention 5%, right, is because we don't want to overstretch ourselves. When we're not used to doing something, it's really important to start with baby steps. And that 5% is basically a baby step. So that's why I always use the 5%. Now, what actions might I take if I tuned in with myself on a regular basis? As best as you can, allow yourself to take your time processing things emotionally, physically, mentally. There's no rush unless you decide there is. And this is important to remember. When we're rushing things, we're doing it because we think that we need to. There's some inner dialogue that goes on that says, I need to be faster. It needs to go quicker. Like, oh my God, it's not, the timing, whatever, right? So remember that this is your choice, right? Rushing or not rushing is a choice. So just check in with yourself. Can I decide that I don't need to rush, that the timing that is occurring is the perfect timing, and that all of this is unfolding exactly as it needs to unfold? Make sure you become aware of how much of a decision that is on your part. Then let's talk about the square to Chiron. Mercury makes that square to Chiron in Aries. So that asks us to stretch and grow around our ability to communicate from a vulnerable place. We are energized to move past harsh criticism of ourselves and others towards a more loving and compassionate connection. And we need to learn how to do that. We need to stretch ourselves because that's maybe not so familiar for us yet. So as best as you can, be open to bringing courage, love, and understanding to all of it. And that includes yourself. So it's very important that we bring all of that to ourselves first, and then also to our interactions with other people. So ask yourself, what might a courageous heart do when it feels insecure or triggered? Because remember, Chiron is that is a place in us where we feel insecure or where we feel triggered sometimes. So what would a courageous heart do when it feels insecure or triggered? And what might a good dose of love and compassion bring to the table? And how might I access 5% more of those ingredients when they are most needed? And we have to also understand, like when we get triggered or when we feel insecure, that's nothing to be ashamed of. And that's why love and compassion is so important. And that's why knowing when to access those things is so important. So really practicing that and paying attention to that is something that we really want to learn, because the more we can do that, the more whole we can feel with ourselves, the less lacking we will experience in our lives. Because when we're not able to be loving and compassionate with ourselves in those moments when we're triggered and insecure, that's when we feel the most broken. That's when we feel the most lacking. That's when we feel the most separate with ourselves in particular. So it's really important to practice these things. Now, the last aspect to Mercury is that sextile to Uranus. And this gives us an opportunity to put a new spin on our old thinking structures and learn to see the past in a new light. And so what's also possible with this aspect is to connect to group activities, to do brainstorming with like-minded people. And that could really generate some amazing insights and some new ways of going about things or connecting. So take advantage of that sextile, because remember, an opportunity is always something that we have to take advantage of. It's not something that's freely given. We have to take action. So ask yourself, what can I see now that I wasn't able to see 6 months ago? And how might connecting to others in unusual or new ways create a better future for all of us and for this planet? And that's a really beautiful question, and I want to encourage you to really investigate this in a full way, if you can, because I think this is very important for all of us to look at this time. How might connecting to others in unusual or new ways create a better future for all of us and for this planet? For a more in-depth look at the upcoming eclipses in relationship to our own birth charts, you can purchase the webinar via my webinar page on my website. There will also be a link below this video for that as well. And thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate all of you. I hope you guys are all doing okay. Please feel free to reach out to me if you're not doing okay. I'm very, very happy to support in any which way I can. If you have questions about soul-based astrology courses, about the monthly forecasting forms in general, about astrology in general, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask those questions. You can always email me at info@astrologercoach.com. Always happy to answer questions. And if it's anything that's more involved that I can't answer via email, then I will just ask you to book a reading via my website. All right? Please stay in touch if you need anything at all. Much love. Namaste. Okay. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.